Hey everybody, I actually have been pretty low on spoons, so I can't go get any spoons today. I gotta save all the ones that I have, and I wanted to talk to you about a concoction that I made, or specifically a deconcoction, when I woke up yesterday morning, very sick, coughing, sore throat, sneezing, just had kind of a cold that I needed to knock out pretty quickly. So what I did was I had a little pot, and I will of course show the recipe as I'm doing it, but I boiled um, some Pau D'Arco bark, which I don't think I've spoken about that. Pau D'Arco is a herb that you use the inner bark of, and what it does is it is a very powerful, all heals everything from the rainforest in Brazil. It has been said to cure cancers and autoimmune diseases and all kind of things. It's also a huge candida cleanse, which the candida will cause you sickness inside of your body. So if you could cleanse that out, you could get well much quicker. I mixed that with elderberries. I had a few, very few, and they were dried. And I mixed that together with the bark, some ginger, some cinnamon, some clove, honey, and sugar, because you want to make it very syrupy. Sorry about that beep. My rice is finished in the Instapot. So I will go through and demonstrate the recipe for you, but the end result is this here, and it isn't much because I've taken 3 teaspoons a day, so it's about 6, actually tablespoons, so it's about 6 tablespoons short right now from what I originally made. And I could still, when I get sick again, use this once or twice. But I have this neat little bowl to put it, this jug to put it in. And this is a very good syrup. It tastes delicious, like berries and sugar and honey. And it literally, I was sick yesterday, and I feel much, much, much better today. So let us go ahead and go through the recipe. All right, so what you see is me adding 3 tablespoons of elderberry. Usually a syrup needs a lot more than this, but this is what I had on hand from the store that did not have a lot left. So I added 3 tablespoons in what was in that bag. Now I am adding a couple tablespoons of the Pau D'Arco bark. It was a little bit hard to get out of the jar that way, so I'm just pouring it. So I'm just adding, this is my first time mixing it with elderberry, so I didn't want to put too much in, and I just added 2 tablespoons. Now this is cinnamon sticks, and I'm throwing 1 cinnamon stick in there. The first 2 are good for anti-inflammatory and getting over sickness. The cinnamon stick is protective. It also makes everything taste good. I showed the wrong thing at first. This is actually star anise, which just adds a little bit of extra magic to all of your spells. Then we have clove, which is protective and also tastes good. And that is 3 cloves that I put in there. 3 is a magic number, so I did add 3. I am getting ready to use ginger here, and I'm grating ginger, fresh ginger, directly into that little pot that I have. and I apologize that it is going to take a little while, but I wanted to get as much of the ginger as I possibly could. Ginger, all the magical properties I will put in the description below for each thing, but a lot of these things also just have a great taste. Most are protective, most are anti-inflammatory, most are antiviral. So you'll notice that those ones that kind of have all those properties to them will also have flavors that all go together. Not sure why. It just kind of, the earth works out that way. Okay. I am going to take my Calendula flowers, and I will use the tops of them and the leaves for something else. I actually ended up drying them and using them for an oil. So I'm cutting the tops off of each of these and saving the stems and the leaves. And I'm going to end up, as you will see in a moment, I'm going to pull off the leaves and put them right into the pot from each of the stems that I cut off. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, once I was done, I decided that I wanted the stems as well. And so I cut those up into smaller pieces, and put those into the pot. The essential oils from each herb are not only in the flowers and the fruit, they're also in the leaves and the stems. So unless you have something that just says don't eat the leaves and the stems, the leaves and the stems are good too. Alright, now I am adding, let's just say an ass ton of honey, because I don't have a measurement for that. But when you're making a syrup, you want it to be nice and syrupy. So ass ton is the best description I could come to for that. Apologies. Again, to help make it syrupy, I am using sugar and 3 tablespoons of sugar. Again, 3 magical number. A lot of times when I'm making recipes, I tend to do in 3 or multiples of 3. And then I'll go back and add what had kind of dripped down that honey jar. Get all the honey that I possibly can get into this concoction here. Okay, what I'm doing now is I have my selenite wand, and selenite is very, very powerful for magic spells. So what I'm using this for is I am circling in it inside the bowl in a counterclockwise motion to take away, to banish. I am putting my intent into it to banish the illness that I was dealing with. That I didn't do any specific number, but a lot of times I will go around 12 times. I'm not sure if I did in this case or not, but a lot of times I will do 12. No real reason, that's just kind of how I do it. I'm adding a cup of purified water. You can't see it, but I have a very large purifier over on the other side of the sink there. So I'm adding 1 cup of purified water and then just a little bit more. I wanted it to cover everything that I had in the bowl with about 1 inch of space. And now I am taking it and putting my hands over it to put my intent into it again. Now here, I probably should have edited that out, but I was getting ready to accidentally use a metal spoon to stir this, which is not good. You want to use all natural materials. So I went back and I grabbed, it's actually, you'll see in a moment, a bamboo straw. And, you know, a stick works just as well as a spoon. So I am again stirring in a counterclockwise motion to banish. I am taking away with the spell. And as I'm doing so, I am concentrating on taking away the sickness. And of course, I edited out the sound from this video and covered it with music so that you didn't hear the sniffles that I had the whole time I was making this. I'm gonna wait for this to come to a full boil, sorry. You'll notice that I have a metal pot on a induction cook burner. It's just a single burner. And I'm using that because it gives it a little bit more of an even heating process than the stove does. So I'm bringing it to a boil. Give it another quick stir, counterclockwise. And you see it's got a good boil going on now. This induction also makes it heat up very quickly because it heats the entire pot all together. So I brought it down to 140 degrees, which is really warming, but I let this simmer for 3 full hours until it became a really, really, really nice syrupy concoction. And when I was done with that, I strained it through cheesecloth and into my bottle. So again, here you have it, the end result. And if you have any questions about making it or need a few more tips or advice, just leave comments down in the comment box and I will reply as soon as I can. That is all that I have for you. I'm alone today. I don't have the little one because he wasn't really involved in cooking this up. I did it actually while he was still sleeping. And that's it. Go get your spoons. And I will see you next time. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell because we would love for you to be watching every single video. Thank you. Bye.